Well, hello, friends. Larry Ortega, wellness coach, nutrition advocate, and cyclist. Top leaders in the space of wellness came together from across the country for the True Food Summit, an amazing event hosted by Children's Health Defense of Arizona. What a treat it was to be taught from the very best this country has to offer in the space of wellness. Special shout out to Executive Director Ursula Conway of the Children's Health Defense Arizona. Tremendous thanks to her and her team for bringing us Mr. Robert Scott Bell, who emceed the event. Robert's been a homeopath, naturopath for more than 30 years, having cleared many of his own chronic diseases early in life. Robert does a radio show / podcast 6 days a week, spreading the good news of how the body can heal itself once given the right stuff. Robert, during a break in the action at the True Food Summit, shared a brief set of insights on how to achieve wellness.
Yeah, Robert Scott Bell, homeopath for 30 years, been broadcasting in natural media for 25 plus years now, and coming here to share a little bit of wisdom and knowledge and experience and MC an event for Children's Health Defense Arizona.
Naturopath, homeopath, what is that?
Well, homeopath is specific to homeopathic medicine, which is a form of medicine that came about from Germany in the late 18th, early 19th century, which is the second largest form of medicine around the world. Here in the United States, where it's a legally recognized drug system, although it has no side effects, can't kill anybody, safest form of medicine, least expensive form of medicine as well, but pretty much most maligned medicine by FDA. They don't like the competition that it poses to big pharma.
Robert, you use the phrase pharmaceutical toxicity. You mentioned prayer, detoxification, and whole food supplementation. Can you elaborate?
Before, and I found a homeopath, or a homeopath found me in answer to prayers after 24 years of pharmaceutical toxicity. I was raised by doctors and pharmacists, so my journey to health and a lot of hardship was through prayer, but discipline, and then finding that I needed to eat cleaner food. I went organic in 1990, never stopped, and detoxified my liver, and began utilizing homeopathic medicine, whole food supplementation, and of course now at the ripe old age of 59, almost, I shall say, not yet, almost, running circles around my 24-year-old self. And that's a testament to living right and learning the things I didn't learn growing up eating fast food.
Your motivation to cure yourself stemmed from personal health challenges. What were some of those health challenges?
I have had so many health challenges from the time I was born with gastrointestinal issues, and I had various skin conditions and neurological injuries resulting in massive headaches and migraines, skeletal inflammation, tendinitis as a child, various inflammations, allergies, just about to everything you can imagine, histaminic responses, respiratory, borderline asthma, and I'm giving you the short list. So I'd been through a lot by the time I got to find natural medicine, thank God, at the age of 24, that started me on this journey to real health.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. More and more I'm finding many people suffer unnecessarily simply because they have not yet learned the miracle of the human body and its ability to heal itself. What a blessing it was to you to find it at such a young age, 30 years ago.
Well, yeah, getting out of the way and stop poisoning yourself, or stop allowing others to poison you for profit. That's not the way to get back to health. Unloading the toxins that you've been accumulating and stop putting them in. Loving yourself enough to give yourself the best. That's not selfish in a negative context, but if you want to be selfless, you have to be a little bit selfish. In other words, take care of yourself the best way you can, and then you're able to help others.
Where do we go from here? This True Food Summit is a fantastic gathering of leaders from across the country in this space. What's next?
Well, I think we got to continue to recognize that health does not come from the government, doesn't come from media figures even, it doesn't come from big pharma certainly, that it comes from within. It's our connection to our divinity, and that's what I've learned as a homeopath for 30 years, is that it isn't even my job to find the right remedy for anybody. It's mostly to remind them of the source of all healing, and that's their divinity, their connection to the divine. So it is a spiritual journey ultimately, but yeah, the physical body that we inhabit, the temple that we've been given, needs to be cared for as well. And that shows a great love for self and a love for God, that you would care and appreciate yourself enough to care to do the right thing. And then, and only then, do you have the unlimited, unboundless, or boundless energy to be here to fulfill your mission, your passion, your purpose for living.
In your professional opinion, having done this for over 30 years and being a giant, consistent voice in this space, why are so many people from the general public so resistant to the idea of the miracle of the human body having the capability to heal itself?
Well, the concept of taking responsibility sometimes has a negative connotation because it feels like, oh, it's too much work, it's too much of a burden. But I'd say it's much more burdensome to rely on others that take that responsibility away from you, or you give it up, and they're happy to tell you what to do and to control you. For those that don't want to care for themselves, maybe they feel like it's an easier life just to do as they're told. I don't know. For those that are really spiritually inclined to have a mission and a purpose, they're getting their marching orders from God, not government, or not their doctor even. So I think the reconnecting to your purpose, it changes everything. The value system shifts, the way you live life, the way you perceive life. Doesn't mean you can't have fun. In fact, I think there's a lot more fun when you're living on purpose and mission than when you think, oh, well, I don't have to do anything because someone else will do it for me. That's a victim state of consciousness that you might like it for a short period of time until suddenly something's uncomfortable and you've been doing what you've been told to do, but it's all wrong when it comes to your health. And then you got to take it back. In other words, no one's going to feed you or nourish you back to health. You've got to do it yourself, but you got to value yourself enough, love yourself enough to do it. And if you don't do it for yourself, at least do it for your kids, for goodness sake, and then maybe it'll impact them. But if you don't do it for yourself, your kids will see that. They'll see the hypocrisy, and they'll grow up kind of abandoning these principles that you might find valuable for them, but not for you. So I think it's important that you recognize it's the example that you lead for others as well as those that you can help.
That seems like the key. I keep going back to the question, why are so many people resistant? In an almost religion-like fashion, people reject the idea that there is another way, a way that has at its core the divine design that God Himself has laid out, allowing the miracle of the human body to engage. What has been your best methodology or vehicle for getting the message out? What or where do people need to plug into?
Well, just every day being present with God, honestly. Always listening to the voice of Spirit. Divine Spirit guides us at all times, but it's a question of practice and however you can do that. I fast once a week, every Friday, just as a reminder, spiritual discipline, but it also helps the physical body as well. It's a difficult task. There are too many distractions, right? That's what this place is all about. So coming back to that focal point, that center, that vitamin L, that love, that divinity, will always keep you on track.
It appears that RFK Jr., founder of this Children's Health Defense, CHD, our host for this event, said he prayed to God that he would be given a chance to save these children harmed by those acting purely for profit. And now, with this new administration, seems like he might be able to do something. With the incoming administration, do you think there is truly an opportunity to make significant impact to families' lives, that they may know and act as we have been so blessed to understand the possibilities at our disposal when we engage the miracle of the human body, that is, by giving it the right stuff? How do you see it?
It's a new opportunity, certainly. In the time that I've been doing this, I don't know that we've had such an opportunity like this because of the intense suffering that happened during COVID, the intense pressure to conform, censorship, etc., the mandates, all of that. And that's where I say suffering can be a gift. It doesn't have to be a curse. In fact, I think by God it's designed to be a gift ultimately if we'll take that gift and work with it. That the gift we've been given is like, well, we really don't like to be told what to do as much as we thought we did. We really don't like to be muzzled and censored or forced to wear masks or get injections. And so in that context, yeah, the opportunity has provided itself, an opening, if you will, with Bobby Kennedy potentially heading the HHS, Trump and him aligned, and others that are coming in to say, you know what, we can do better. And there are others that say that's not possible, but again, it's a belief system, and God gave us an imagination. If you can imagine it, it can be manifested. But of course, it takes a lot of discipline once again, and if you fall back into the old patterns, the old habits, we'll end up back at the same place we always were at, and wonder, why did we get here? How did we get here? Well, because we didn't do what we knew we should have done. And we just fell back on a kind of lazy pattern that was easier to fall into that groove than it was to break into chart a new course that I think has always been there for us, but it's a question of timing.
Thank you, Mr. Robert Scott Bell, naturopath, podcaster, wellness advocate. And also, thank you to our host of the True Food Summit, CHD Arizona. They've done an amazing job indeed, bringing experts like yourself and others who get it and understand what needs to get done, having been in the trenches for many years now. I am hoping we catapult the messages from here to the rooftops of every neighborhood throughout this country for all to hear that there is a better way. For more information on these and other pearls of wisdom on how to live and feel better, to improve the quality of life you are living through the food we eat, please subscribe to this channel. I will be dropping more interviews with leaders in this space of wellness.